Hello everyone and welcome to another Summoner's War video. In today's video, we will be looking back at triple Icaru Verde heal for Dragons B12 as well as triple Icaru Astar for Necropolis B12. So a lot of new players are struggling with their triple Icaru, and I just wanted to re-upload this guide for easy navigation and easy search of other players. Disclaimer, this is not necessarily mine, especially the table which I'm showing you in the Excel spreadsheet, which was compiled by shinedday from Reddit, and I'll leave a link down in the description below if you would like to access this. Now, a lot of the new players must invest in triple Icaru and make it work because it's the most efficient and the best investment in the game that you can do, no, for your progression. So without further ado, let's get it on and let's see the video. Now let's talk about Dragon's DB12 team. So for this one, you will use the very popular Tricaru Verde Heal team. So the principle here is very basic. The triple Icaru team relies on your Icarus to team up with 3 other units, including Verde Heal, who will push up the attack bar, constantly cycling turns and killing enemies that they touch. No, but however, the crucial threshold here is achieving this requirement for team up, because team up increases the number of allies that you attack together with based on the Icarus defense. No? So, and basically for speed tuning, you have at least one Icaru with plus 89 speed. That is with consideration of the tower, max tower speed bonus, as well as dungeon skill bonus from Verde Heal. So, and if you remember the computation, so that should be 108 times 1.43, so plus 89, that should provide you with 243 speed. No? So, and that is about approximately the minimum. I think it was plus 87, 86, if I remember correctly, from the comprehensive guide from Reddit. No? So, but basically, if you need a reference of a working Tricaru team, so this can be something that you should aim for. No? I'll link down the Reddit post for your reference below. So, but nonetheless, so if you have this team, you will have a stable 1 minute Dragons DB12 farming team. Yeah. So the idea here is the first Icaru should be speed tuned to the minimum requirement, and then the next two Icarus, their speed values doesn't necessarily mean so much as long as the last Icaru attacks before Verde Heal. No? So that's just the requirement for speed tuning here. So this can be plus 65, this could be plus 40. No, it really doesn't matter as long as they are in between your Verde Heal as the slowest unit and just below the threshold for the fastest Icaru. Now, apart from the speed tuning, so we've already talked about the defense requirement. So, and for the defense requirement, there is a computation, but if you look at my team, no, my team is using almost all guard runes with just one determination set. So remember stats before rune sets. So if you can achieve a certain stat with a certain rune set, then that should be enough for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be focus. It doesn't have to be what they call this blade. No, as long as you get the proper defense stats as well as accuracy and certain crit rate. So if you will look at my Tricaru team, so what I did here is to balance my rune set across the three doggos. So I have my highest accuracy with the first Icaru because he will hit first. So ideally, he should land the defense break together with the other two Icarus. But you see, my third Icaru has no accuracy. So most of the time, he doesn't contribute to that defense break. So, and ideally, you should aim for 85% once again, especially that the dragon boss has 100% resistance, I think, or very high resistance at the least. So, what I did here is since I cannot reach for 85% accuracy, at least I'm trying to aim for more accuracy with my artifacts. So my first Icaru has a total of 70% accuracy. And then for my second Icaru, this is 49 plus 17. So that's 66%. And then negative negative accuracy for the third one. However, if you will also look at the damage, I've also uh, balanced it in such a way that the third Icaru is focused on damage dealing with 80% crit rate and 121 crit damage, while the first Icaru is more of the support with not much damage, and the second Icaru is the balance between the two. So it has good accuracy, but it has good crit rate, but not good critical damage. Now, another important aspect that you will look at here is your Verde heal stats. So you want to pump as much damage as possible for your Verde heal. The more damage you can put on your Verde heal, the faster and the safer this dungeon team would be. Now, if you will look at my Verde heal, it's not the best Verde heal. It's just enough with plus 2005 bonus attack from stats from runes, and then just 190 critical damage. Now, one thing that I've learned while creating this dungeon team is that if your Verde heal is not the best in terms of damage output, it's also critical for you to invest in health. So in my case, before, I did not realize why my Tricaru team is failing even though I had hit the threshold for uh, the defenses of the three Icarus. After a few observations, so I realized that if your Verde heal does not kill, or if your team does not kill the boss before his last breath, uh, your Verde Hill might die, and if he dies, then you will fail the run. No? So that's why for this Verde Hill, I put uh, plus 10,000 HP and just enough damage for it to survive and kill the boss uh, within 1 minute. No? So if you will look here, there's the last breath. So if your Verde Heal is not uh, tanky enough, he might die. Uh, One important artifact that you can also use here is, aside from additional damage based off stats. So uh, this one is kind of a waste here, in a sense that my Verde Heal is low, so it's much better to use additional damage proportional to attack. But another artifact that is underrated for this is life drain. So if you have life drain artifacts or recovery rate from skill 1, so that would also be helpful, because every time Verde Heal is uh, taken by the Icaru, so he will heal himself. And of course, critical damage is also important. And but anyway, so this is pretty much straightforward and pretty much popular already. So I don't think much of you would have problems with uh, triple Icaru Verde Heal compositions. Yeah. In terms of skill ups, none of my Icarus have skill up. No? So if you want a slightly faster run, I think it's worth investing skilling up the triple Icaru. But I would dissuade you from using Devilmons, because that's pretty much limited in the game, and you can use them on much more important units. So I think 1 minute uh, Dragon's DB10 is enough, good enough for Verde Heal. So as you can see, if you skill this up to the max, that would be very much helpful. But I'm lazy, so I don't have uh, max skilled Verde Heal. But usually he dishes out the stronger damage from skill 2. So at least my skill 2 is max skilled. So, but if you want a slightly faster run, so you should invest in skilling up your Verde Heal. Dun, 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 dun. So you will see the best time is 56, but it averages around 1 minute. No. Now, another important thing to note is that if you are already able to build your triple Icaru, it would be much easier to also build a Necro. Then you will just replace Verde Heal with Astar. So, and similarly, the principle is that you have the triple Icaru moving first, and then Astar with the slowest speed tuning out of your team. And if you can see in the sample repeat battle results, this is also around 1 minute average clear time for Necro B12. Now let's look at the rune requirements for this dungeon. So one of the things that you have to understand is Astar requires vampire runes. So while that is a little bit mm, contradicting in the sense that you obtain vampire runes from Necro, so it's uh, important in a sense that Astar should be built as high HP as high attack as possible. But in order for her to survive the different waves as well as the counter attack from the boss, she should have vampire roots. And her passive makes it in such a way that if her HP gets lower, she deals 100% more damage. So that's times 2 of your usual damage. And she definitely benefits from additional damage artifacts, although since those are rare, I did not invest them on her. No. So as far as skill ups are concerned, so I don't have her max skilled, but you can fuse the Wind Magic Knight if you want to skill her up, but it's not necessarily required. So she works okay with these stats. So you will see that this might probably a little bit high of a rune requirement, but it's obtainable in a sense that I did not use any legendary rune, or at least just one for this rune set. Now you can even use rare. I think this is the only one which is legend, and I put it here because it lacks speed and it has high critical damage, but the rares are fairly attainable rune sets. So one thing that you should also take note for Necro is that while speed tuning is important, the Necro boss has a skill to suppress speed. So I think the speed cap at boss stage is just around 130. So you can definitely work this out with negative speed monsters like this Astar. No? So just plus 36. So you can concentrate on dishing out more damage. So the idea is fairly simple. So as much as possible, your triple Icaru brings Astar every so often. So her skill 1 is an AoE, so she deals with a lot of damage while being teamed up with the triple Icaru. And then in the boss stage, since you have a counter for the number of hits before the shield comes down, so teaming up with Astar with her skill 1 hitting 3 times plus the Icarus hitting 3 times as well, so that's already 6. So you just need another 1 hit to break the shield, and the rest would be raw damage directly thrown to the boss, which makes it fast. An alternative to this team would be your standard twins team. But if you don't have the twins, and you will definitely create your triple Icaru Verde heal anyway. So to minimize the investments for building more monsters and focusing on farming runes, so I would suggest to use your triple Icaru plus build an Astar. So if you don't have Astar as well, so please use your 7-year scrolls to summon her. I don't think she is fusible, no, but her sister is. So for skill up, but if you will have a chance to get her from events, yes, please make sure you will do so. So farming Necro is still important in 2021, even though you have Elunia, because you can never have enough will runes. So for PvP, but Necro also provides you with the highest mana return. So if you are missing mana, so you can either farm Necro or do more BJ R5 runs. However, it's since this is 1 minute runs, so you will have more savings in terms of crystals farming Necro than farming R5. Eh. Okay, let's leave it for now. So like for example, if you will sell a blue rune from Necro, it's about 20k. In giants and in dragons, usually the two sets like guard, focus, endure, energy, and blade cost very low. So if you are having troubles with mana, then Necro is the best place to farm those mana. Ugh. Another thing to note why it is important for your Astar to be on vampire routes is that your the trash wave Magi or the dark golems reflects 15% of the incoming damage. So in order for your Astar to survive, she should have vampire sets, no? Because if you see there, there's a lot of rejected damage coming from her attacks, but with recovery from vampire runes, that is mitigated. So that improves her survivability and therefore the success of your runs. So once again, that's it for this video, guys. If you found this helpful, please do help me and the channel get more views and be better at the YouTube algorithm by liking the video as well as subscribing to the channel. You may also share this with other new Summoners War players who you think are struggling with their DB12 and NB12 teams. So good luck and see you in the next one. Bye!
We're calling it house fire.